Federal law says it's okay if the restaurant pays you $2.13 an hour, so long as certain requirements are met. And what we're going to talk about today is what requirements must be met in order to allow your employer to pay you as little as $2.13 an hour. And what happens if they violate those requirements. But before we jump into the tip credit, let's talk a minute about the federal minimum wage. Since July 24, 2009, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 an hour. That means that for each and every hour that you work as a waiter, the restaurant or bar is required to pay you at least $7.25 an hour. Now, as I said earlier, there are some instances where the restaurant can pay you as little as $2.13 an hour. And the difference between $7.25 an hour and the $2.13 an hour, that $5.12, it's called the tip credit. So let's talk about that for a few minutes. The law says that the restaurant can take a tip credit against their minimum wage obligations and pay you as little as $2.13 an hour, so long as you make at least $30 a month in tips, so long as you're made aware of or put on notice by the restaurant that they're going to take a tip credit. And third, that they allow you to keep all of your tips, except those which are required to go to a proper, valid tip sharing agreement. That's where a lot of restaurants and bars fall into a trap. And they violate the federal wage laws when they do. The result of which is that they forfeit the tip credit, and they have to pay you back the tip credit for each and every hour that you've worked for the last 2 and up to the last 3 years. And it not only benefits you, but also helps each and every former and current employee who has worked there to recover those wages as well. There are many aspects of what constitutes a proper tip sharing arrangement. For instance, it's perfectly appropriate for the restaurant to require you to share tips with busboys, with a hostess, the bartender, people like that, people who have direct customer interaction. However, it's not appropriate if the restaurant is requiring you to share your tips with certain members of management or someone in the kitchen, like a dishwasher, a kitchen chef, a salad prep or pastry chef, a valet or a doorman, a bouncer, those types of people. It's improper. Those people should be paid by the restaurant. That's part of doing business. That's the restaurant's operating costs. And it's unfair, and more importantly, it's illegal if the restaurant is making you, as the waiter or the bartender, take your hard-earned tips and pay those operating costs. It's illegal. If you have questions about the legality of your employer's tip pool or pay practice, feel free to call. 877-TIP-POOL is the number. The call is free and it's confidential.